We like GTA. Good for you, Rockstar. Now use that money to fix Red Dead.
Yeah, patch
You know,
Red Dead 2 right now.
cute Rockstar. Now give a 60 FPS patch on RDR2 like right now. Hello, hello. My name is Navid Sanati, and this is the Real 2 Code Show. Welcome. We're going to give you the latest news on games, movies, and technology. And here with me is...
Hi, I'm Bill Long. I'm joining Navid today, and we're going to go over some of the latest stories that are out there.
Bada bing, bada boom. So here we are. First things first, I really kind of wanted to go over some things that I've been working on, just studying in general, which is figuring out gaming stories and series after I started playing Red Dead Redemption, which blew my fucking mind out of the water, and did not know that a game could be so impactful and so powerful and so, strong as a story. I played Grand Theft Auto 4, I think, completely. I finished it. So it wasn't, I can't even compare the two. But there's this whole thing about Grand Theft Auto being so much more entertaining technically, and Red Dead Redemption being dead because of the Red Dead Online, and just people complaining about, in general, Red Dead not being, what it could be and what it should have panned out to be. And then in this graph, Google Trends for YouTube search mainly. I haven't done the whole web search. Web search should be fairly similar, except for Taylor Swift, which lately, obviously, she blew up on the web search. And the reason, I'll tell you why I have Taylor Swift here in a second. Initially, people were really waiting for Red Dead Redemption compared to Grand Theft Auto. And if you look at the search on YouTube, Grand Theft Auto is at 30. This is out of 100. And compared to that is 94, Red Dead Redemption. Taylor Swift was at 15. And the reason I put Taylor Swift is really just kind of like there's the guy world and there's the girl world. And there's the popularity and what you think in your mind would be more popular in general. I think a lot of people might have thought that Taylor Swift could have been more popular in general. But yeah, as you can see, Red Dead just dropped. And it dropped, when was it? In 2019, June-ish. It was just really down and gone. Then, I'm not sure what happened here with Grand Theft Auto. This is something to look into and maybe potentially add here. Holy moly.
Peaked way up there.
Yeah, so on May 17th to 23rd of 2020, which is technically where it was peaking COVID area, Grand Theft Auto is blowing up on YouTube search, and it could be a lot of people just trying to figure out how to play it or do something else, but compare that with Red Dead and Taylor Swift. Yeah. So Taylor Swift is a weird comparison, but it's just something that's on the other spectrum, which is also music and movies, kind of comparing it, that way. It's the hottest thing, I would say, when it comes to film and music. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I put that there.
And which makes sense because, as you're segueing into, the gaming industry is bigger than movies and music combined.
And this is from February 14th. No, that's not the date. This is for 2021. I don't know what the date is, but Bill, do you wanna can you see it and read it possibly, please?
Sure. Actually, I've got it right here. So we're good. Gaming makes a lot of money now, and tech wants a piece of it. In the last decade, the gaming industry has been smashing Hollywood earnings out of the park. Just in 2021, the global gaming market had a whopping 180 billion in revenue. In fact, gaming is bigger than Hollywood and the music industry combined. Top games are earning more than the big blockbusters. Top sellers include Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Fallout 4, and the Call of Duty franchise. Looking into the numbers, Grand Theft Auto 5, apology, I said 4 earlier, game has raked in more than 6 billion, according to MarketWatch. Compare that to Avatar, the highest grossing movie ever, at 2.8 billion. As a result, video game companies have become hot commodities.
Yeah, this is not much of a surprise when you can take control of your character and you are involved in the story rather than just being the observer and just having an experience. This is an emotionally movies are emotional too, but like this, the level of emotions are whole layers. It's just like 10 layers added to it if you were to look at it like an onion, because of the amount of time you spend with these characters. Like in Red Dead, you have to go shave, and you can figure out what kind of a beard you want, what kind of a hair you want. There are mods for all that. You can have different, all that kind of ponytails, mohawks, or whatever. And you become attached to that character. You made that character. It had nothing to do with, it's just like go and watch a movie, and then you can, at the beginning of the movie, you can choose what kind of a character you want to see, and then go watch the movie.
You're not at the default for whatever, you're getting there. You customize and, you can put a lot of effort into what it looks like, or you can put no effort into it and go with the base skin. But most people love to change things up. I know I do when I create, characters for games, and they let me do a lot of that changing. So spend a lot of time doing it or changing it here and there, just depending on my mood. I'm sure that happens, with like in Red Dead too.
Here's another thing, GTA, and this is something I want to actually bring up at the end. So stay tuned if you want to see the comments and what people are actually asking for. It's so funny that when you go through these comments, you're like, this is one of the reasons why Red Dead is dead. If you just sit down and listen, to people. This is a really interesting thread for developers, creators, whoever's really into getting into, creating a game, and also understanding why a company like Rockstar wants to focus on GTA versus Red Dead, and why it could be disappointing. Something to look into here in a second, but I want to get to that at the end of the video. This is an interesting article. It's just going into a different section, which is the biggest game development trends of 2023. So this is a different, just in general, going into a different topic, and then I'm going to go back into GTA and Red Dead and kind of tie it all together. The biggest game development trends of 2023 by Ixie, where games level up. Ixie Gaming, ixiegaming.com.
Yeah, no idea.
For people that are listening only, it is IXIE gaming.com. So the top 7 game development trends of 2023. 1, immersive technologies. Immersive technologies have grown significantly with time. Their applications have diversified from the healthcare sector to the gaming industry, to mention a few. The need to create deeply engaging and immersive gaming experiences is the driving power behind implementing immersive technologies in game development. Some commonly adopted immersive technologies are augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR. In 2023, game developers have continued to explore the limitless potential of these technologies, pushing the limits of interactive gameplay. Immersive technologies have enabled gamers to interact in virtual worlds thanks to improved hardware capabilities. VR-enabled games treat players to more captivating, engaging, and realistic worlds. This trend shows the industry's commitment to providing players with novel ways to interact and engage in virtual environments on a more personalized level. That's the number one thing that's on this article. And I think it's one of the most important parts of what's going to be happening here. And
No,
this
we
is
definitely agree.
and this is not just it's not a game thing. It's where do I interact with my characters and my story and what involvement can I have in it? And then continuing down here in a second, I think it's in this article. If not, I'll pull it up. It's about making money in the game. Like, how invested can I be in the game? Because I'm going to spend, I don't just watch a movie like 2 hours anymore. I have 1,000 hours in gameplay on Red Dead Redemption. So I don't know a single movie that I've watched 1,000 hours of. I might have, just to learn from it, but nothing.
Like I said, I agree that that's number one for a reason, because that's kind of where we're trending right now. Where VR, all the new tech is coming out. It's getting better and better with each rendition, and it's getting more affordable with each rendition. So it's like we'll see. I think we're going to see some, in the next 5 years, we're going to see some big jumps in the VR and AR tech that's going to make things a lot easier for everybody to get their hands on it, and to make the gameplay and everything else all the better, as well as anything else you want to do with it.
But exactly, I agree. Cool. Two.
Okay, so the next one on their list is cross-platform play. There has been a significant increase in the number and variety of devices used by gamers. This largely is attributed to the need for more convenient gaming experiences. As a result, game developers have had to build more games that support cross-platform play in 2023. The trend has grown exponentially, breaking the barriers between different gaming environments. Gamers can play the same games on their laptops, console, mobile devices, all improving the profitability and convenience of their gaming experience. Cross-platform play fosters a sense of inclusivity and community among gamers. Also, it promotes collaboration and healthy competition and widens the potential player base. Simply put, it increases the potential number of gamers as it provides a more unified gaming landscape that focuses on players and preferences rather than platform limitations. And it's very true that that's exactly what's good about it. So where you can play on your console, play on your computer, or play on your phone. Now that's where AR and VR is going to advance to, is where you're going to be able to have a wearable device that you can do this on as well, and that you may choose to solely do it on, like the Apple product, which I cannot remember the name of right now. Sorry, Apple. That is you still see the world around you, or you choose to see the world around you, but also everything else is right in front of you as well.
Vision Pro.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, it is a big whatever. So yeah, it's these things are getting quite funky. And it's kind of like one fits all system that needs to happen. You have a USB kind of thing, So if we all have different, we get a computer. If we had like every game had its own computer, or like every game had its own system, like you can play certain games only on Xbox. That obviously they started to figure that out. It's like, okay, I got to do an Xbox, a PlayStation, get it on PC, figure out a mobile version. I'm going to do a VR thing. But how do these things now are, if they even have those systems that are separate, when it comes to the world and it all comes together and you have NFTs, you have, technically speaking, your shops or whatever it is, anything you have online that could get involved into the game, and you bring it in with you. And I don't know. That would be insane. So if I went into Grand Theft Auto and I just racked up like $20,000, of some kind of NFT or whatever, And I can take that into Red Dead 3 when it comes out, you know. But
Yeah, that would be great. So kind of sounds like they kind of did that in that book Ready Player One, where they basically the coin of the realm was the credit for the Oasis. And that's what everybody used. No matter what you were doing, that's the money. And they transferred it over everywhere.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something that's going to slowly but surely happen. And then this is another thing that comes with that is the cloud gaming. You know, it's all a part of the same. Um, uh, it's all in the part. It's all basically a part of the cloud, and you're logging into a giant server, or servers, and connecting with everybody through that. So you don't really need to have any kind of crazy space on your computer. Um, and also not having to have a device that needs to have storage on it. You know, it just needs to have a receiver to
Yeah,
be
you have
able
to be able
to
to connect.
process. It just needs to have a receiver and a good processor, kind of capability, and then it will. And AI and machine learning. This is fun. Uh, the NPCs and all that. I actually didn't know that in Red Dead Redemption they already had AI. I think they have it in GTA as well, but there's already AI. Um, it's not generative AI. I think it's just AI, which basically tells the NPCs or the NPC animals or NPC, technically animals are NPCs, I guess, and then everybody else that if this happens, trigger it to do these things, and then have it to just kind of have a natural way of going about, going through chores and certain actions that, or if Arthur runs into them, shoots them, what they would say and what would happen, or if Arthur helps them out, what would happen. All that has a lot of AI involved in it. But it's to a certain degree. It's obviously at this beginning stage. Once this gets really evolved, is going to be really, really interesting, I think, because you go and do a certain mission, you achieve something, you do it differently than anybody else has throughout the game, because you're going to do that. We're all just going to go about the game a little differently. We're crafting it as we're going. Not exactly like Minecraft, I guess, but similarly.
Well, yeah, you're definitely doing everything your way. Now, if the game makers have given you a how do we say, some latitude in how you get to that final point, you definitely can make it your own. I mean, that's what I found when, playing like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, is that they've given a little bit of latitude in how you can do it. So it's not exactly how they wanted you to do it, but you guess still got there in the end. So it's still don't, you did it your way, kind of. And in other games, I'm sure there's a lot more latitude to how you can do things to get to that end point. Like in Red Dead, especially, you've got all the ways you can be good and bad. So, and they did that back in Fable too. You went good route or you went the bad route. So you got a lot of leeway in how you did things to still complete the whatever missions or side quests or whatever you had to do to get to the end.
If the AI is so advanced that you go and you have all these missions that you do something so, unique, when you come back to a certain area that, you just have regular characters that you talk to that are NPCs, and then they ask you about it. They're like, so when you went out there, what did you find and what happened? And then you tell them what you did and what happened. and potentially could be even attached to your mouth audio telling it what happened, so it's like very communicative kind of thing. Then it will remember, and also potentially actions will come based off of that. So creating you're rendering moments as you go that didn't even exist, and developers had nothing to do with it. It's just the machine is creating it for you as you go. Any notes on that?
No, yeah, that's sorry. I zoned out listening to you. It was good, very good points, all of that. Yeah, so the AI, comes through and does, basically does all that. The developers, while they were involved in, training it and everything else, I assume they were anyway, they still let it take, go its own route and do its own things. So it could be a completely different reaction. I mean, maybe by even each player, or at least it's down to however many responses it has programmed into it. So it may only be a handful of things it can do, but it might be, a broad variety. I doubt it's learning, so it won't be changing over time, but it's definitely provides a different experience probably for each player who sees it.
Yeah. There's one thing, and I just got GTA 5. I haven't even opened it. I haven't touched it. Something I'm gonna get into um, during the holiday, probably after Thanksgiving. Is that I've seen this happen on TikTok, and I've seen people who are playing GTA. They're like playing cops, and when they're talking, their characters are talking on the online. Their mouths are moving while they're um, talking to each other through the mic. So that when you see the characters, it's saying exactly what the person is saying on the mic to the other person who's playing the game. So everybody in the game, when they're talking, the characters are literally saying what the player is saying. It's insane.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
So there are some people that are playing the bad guys, and some people that are playing cops. So, and you can see them as, teams, posses or whatever going, trying to rob a bank, or, the cops are like, oh, found somebody here. We got to go arrest them or whatever. And their mouth, when they're arresting them, you can see. I was like, is this real? Is
Yeah,
this live? This is insane.
that is kind of kick ass that it's doing it, that type of interaction, even on the level of, on the screen in front of you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just, I think it'll be mind-boggling that it's not that much of a stretch. Like right now, when I'm talking to Chat GPT as similar. So if I tell Chat GPT to write an essay in Bart Simpson's voice, or thought process, it will give me a Bart Simpson essay. You know, and if I had Bart Simpson's voice as a character, so if I'm playing Simpsons, I go in and I start talking to Bart, and Bart and I have a fucking relationship, in Simpsons. I'm now living in the Simpsons. I'm a part of the Simpsons. You know what I mean? I'm just a neighbor with
Yeah,
this kind of a look, and I'm talking, and we're gonna have a dramatic fucking adventure. We're going through missions and doing shit, and then we have to solve it, and we're talking to each other, and all that could be really stored in the cloud version. All that, how that works, could be stored in a unique way that would be your playthrough NFT or something. I don't know, like your unique world, and people can come in and be a part of it, or you can share it in other games somehow. Bah.
no, that's a good point, and that that gives new immersion to it. Plus, you can play as or with your favorite characters from whatever, especially if you're syncing in different characters from movies, TV, etc. That'd be great. Either you interact with them or you play as them. That would be fun.
The rest of this article is kind of, not something I want to really dive into. Just want to finish up the artificial intelligence, and we'll go into the next article here real quick. I'll read this one. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Our AI and machine learning, ML, are two transformative technologies with significant potential to revolutionize the gaming industry. The integration of these technologies into game development has reached new heights in 2023. Game developers harness AI and ML to create more responsive and immersive technologies. AI-powered non-player characters, NPCs, exhibit improved capabilities and behaviors. They can adapt dynamically to players' strategies and actions. For instance, in the pool billiards probe game, the player can play against a computer, an AI-powered NPC. What's more, you can select the difficulty level for a more challenging gaming experience. Additionally, ML algorithms are used to tailor gameplay, adjust challenges, and predict player preferences in real time. This trend has revolutionized the gaming experiences by crafting quests, narratives, and landscapes that respond uniquely to each gamer. That's kind of what I was going off of and trying to sample what this really means and what it really entails when it comes to the story and characters, and what world does that create for us. So going back to this, the gaming industry is now bigger than the movies and music combined, is because the movies and the music are now a part of the games. We're watching cutscene. Every cutscene, if you look at Red Dead Redemption, it's a cinematic experience. It has a cinematic mode that you go into and you watch it as a cinematic movie. And it has so many influences from so many different great westerns and other stories, other movies, even like Red Dead. Redemption was there, but I didn't get the first part. Shawshank Redemption. Even Shawshank Redemption is in Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. They're movies that have influenced the game so much so that it has leaned on the story. It has leaned on the characters. They've spent $500 million for Red Dead Redemption on purely risking over the story, and the story that has been a classic story for ages. This is not a new story. The story has been told several gazillion fucking times. But when you experience it the way we experienced it with Red Dead, and that's why they call it Red Dead Depression, or Rockstar just stole the souls of, so many fucking youth because of, the thing, how it just fucked with people's hearts and souls, really,
Yeah.
That's where it's at. That's why it's engulfed, really. Movies and music are now engulfed. One of the best fucking music tracks I've heard this year is in this fucking game.
Now that I'll agree with you. That's a very good one.
Yeah, so here's the top 3 things that are being searched for Red Dead Redemption on YouTube. American Venom is the first one. American Venom is actually also a soundtrack, and it's a mission, and I think it's the most gratifying mission in Red Dead Redemption. It's fucking amazing. That is, yeah, it's badassery, and it's a great fucking name for the last mission. Then Red Dead Redemption Switch. I don't know what that means or what that is, but right below that is May I Stand Unshaken, which is the music.
Yeah.
And you come over here, and so I just wanted to see if it would show the stats here for a second, and I'm not sure if I can pull up to, there we go. So Yeah, almost 2 million monthly listeners for this cat over here who created the song. Unshaken is the name of it. Original soundtrack. I mean, that's one of the. I mean, music is in this thing. You know, our movies are now in the game. I'm sitting down, pretty much doing a couple of things, blah blah blah, mission mission mission, and then sitting back and watching a scene. You know,
Yeah. And those cutscenes, they, done well. They look, it's good stuff. It is like watching, an episode of something, or, and don't even want to call it a commercial, but it's something. It's just like, and they're usually pretty good. At least a lot of the games I've played, the cutscenes are, you know, enjoyable.
the two technology trends shaping the future of gaming from Forbes. You have this one.
Yes, I do.
So this is where the NFT stuff is, and this is where where it kind of is summarizing what we talked about. And I want to bring all of this and go back into this guy and kind of end with this note, because I think a lot of people would like to know what the comments are in here, and I'm sure if you Google it, you can go find it and go through it yourself. But
No, I was reading the comments. So,
well, for the viewers, but
oh, for the viewers, yeah.
yeah, if they want to go do that, but at the same time, it's it'll be funny to just wait for us to read it, because we're gonna make fun of some of it and also learn from some of it. So it's gonna be interesting. Here, you start, and then I'll read some of the rest.
Okay, so this is from Forbes magazine, the two technology trends shaping the future of gaming. Gaming today is already all about creating immersive worlds for players to enjoy, making it a natural fit with the metaverse. And gamers today can create real-world value from digital creations and NFTs. What else is on the horizon for the world of gaming in the future internet? Let's explore how the metaverse, Web3, and new revenue models are redefining the gaming experience. Gaming has been at the forefront of technological advances, and the metaverse is no exception. As games evolve and become even more immersive, they are set to become integral components of a broader metaverse ecosystem. According to a survey with Ernst & Young, 97% of gaming industry executives say gaming is at the center of the metaverse as it stands today. In theory, any virtual reality game could be part of the metaverse. But remember, interconnectedness is at the heart of the metaverse. Players will be able to seamlessly transition between various games and experiences, bringing their digital identities, assets, and achievements with them. To accomplish this level of interoperability, game developers will need to work together to create shared universes and cross-platform experiences. In 2020, Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney, whose company created the Fortnite gaming universe, explained his vision of gaming in the metaverse as a move away from the whole bunch of walled gardens into something that is increasingly open and comes to resemble, by the end of the decade, an open metaverse in which players get together with their families and they go from game experience to game experience, staying together as a group, as friends, going across all platforms and not having to worry about what company made the device they're on or the companies operating the services they're playing on as they go through these experiences. Fortnite is already a leader in the metaverse. Their platform is an immersive world where gamers can enjoy entertainment experiences like concerts, as well as play the game itself. Augmented reality games that superimpose digital gaming elements on the real world are also still important. Pokemon Go was an important pioneer in this area, and we can expect to see more AR gaming as the technology continues to advance.
Yeah, here's something I wanted to add here. And this is where I think a lot of the connections are going to come in. I don't know, I'm just fucking whatever my opinions are here. The AR world is really where everything is going to land in. VR lives in AR. So anything that you have as far as a device goes will eventually be an augmented reality device. And having an augmented reality device will enable you to watch a movie, listen to music, get on your phone. You don't need a phone anymore. You don't need to, if you get behind your car, you can have augmented reality where it tells you what the speed is or who else is coming, who's behind you. There's all these little things that the applications of it are going to be insane. So you don't need any, you're basically a drone, you're basically a droid. I'm not a drone. It can be a drone too. You know, get out, and so now if you're the droid yourself and you're in the AR, you turn on the VR, then you're technically, like he's saying, you're now in the world of, like, I just played I don't know, some weird version of Arthur Morgan. And now I'm walking into GTA, or I'm walking into Fortnite for that matter, with that same character. Or potentially with the character that's in that game, but with the same NFTs or the same kind of friends, same kind of, in general, everything I have will be diving right into that world, with me. Then, if I go to work, on my way to work, or if I go to the gym, or if I go to the grocery store, there might be something interesting, unique from the game that I can find around these areas, like Pokemon Go was doing. So as I'm going around doing other things, I'm still involved in the story or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember, when Pokemon Go, that, people were outside running around trying to find stuff. It literally got people not sitting at a desk, not sitting on a sofa, not, doing anything like that. They were outside, going to different places, trying to find Pokemon, trying to visit gyms or whatever, and, running through parks and all this other stuff. So it's literally, that got people motivated and moving, to play it. It was a great, thing when it was there.
Yeah, and now the main thing that I see that's really going crazy about Pokemon are the Pokemon cards. And somehow an NFT crafted version of that, instead of getting all this plastic shit that's, obviously it's good, nice and tangible, I get it, but if you had an NFT display, it could be just as good. So I think I want to skip over this. This is definitely getting into some other aspects of it, and potentially want to come back to this next time. And
Web 3 is definitely new to the planet, and something that we definitely should tackle.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe a longer form on just Web 3 at some point might be a good idea, just because got to explain it a lot. But I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know what it is and have the concept, but definitely want to break it down, simple.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's something to kind of go over and explain it, and then also get into what it would do with the world of games and storytelling and movies and whatnot. Now I want to wrap it back up to here and just end on this note. GTA 5 sales now at over 180 million copies. Red Dead Redemption 2 at over 53 million units sold. Now, if you say an average game with discounts, in some games were like sold at $30, some games were sold at $60, and some of them were at $100 because they do have all, ultimates or whatever editions.
So, and some people will buy that at that price, and that's good for them. Some, like me, I'm going to wait till it goes on sale and maybe get it for $40-50.
Yeah, so 180 million copies, technically that resulted into the 6 billion something, which I think we saw from 2020 or 2021, I think it was. Let's see, 6 billion in 2021. This is from 6 months ago. So we're at 9 billion, I think, now with that one. And what's 53 million times, let's say 50? That's like, this is around $2 billion. So you got almost a 10 billion with the, with GTA 5 that came out in 2013. It's still selling like hotcakes. I just bought a copy. And then, which was on sale for $15. And I'm like, it was like 80% off or something. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. This is one of those things where people are like, okay, our feelings are still with Red Dead. We like GTA. Good for you, Rockstar. Now use that money to fix Red Dead.
Yeah, patch.
Red
Dead 2 right now.
Cute Rockstar. Now give a 60 FPS patch on RDR 2 like right now. This is a hilarious comment, and I think it's so funny because I don't really care about it being 30 or 60 FPS. To me, it's the story, but I get it when you're like a real gamer and you're comparing it to other games and the capabilities you can have. These could be some of the reasons why you lost at 53 million if you just had a little bit more of an understanding of, what people really are looking for. Why did you take away that 60 FPS? Because as I'm scrolling down, that's
a lot of what they're talking about is 60 FPS, 60 FPS, 60 FPS.
So why wasn't that a part of the deal? Why would you take away something very, and does it have to do with the time period, the amount of because the game is so massive. I've seen people suddenly like go into these areas and they're like, they make a video of it. It's like, this is how you get to Guama, like from the regular map. I'm like, you could do that? How the hell? Like, there's so much detail and everything. And is it because of that? Like, you add 30 more FPS to that? Is it going to like overload shit? I don't know.
I don't know. There might be a reason that they don't do it. I'd be interested to find out. What is it, Rockstar? Is there a reason you don't do it? Is just you don't want to spend the money on it? You don't think it's worth it? What's what's the deal? Come on.
So, and like this one, in 45 years, I played a lot of games, and RDR2 is sitting very close to the top. And that could be, honestly, it could be the very top. It's number one for a lot of people. I've seen, some serious gamers and YouTube channels and Twitchers, whatever. This is their number one game.
Yeah, I mean, there's even one above that comment, that above the 45-year comment that said 53 million in sales and we can't get a fucking 60 FPS patch. Of course, that's another one of those, but it says, I'm not even demanding an online update at this point, but at least let me play one of the best stories I've ever experienced at a smooth frame rate.
Yeah. So they just want it to, feel better. They don't want it to be choppy. They want it to be smooth. And also they really dropped the ball on the online. They really dropped the ball on the online game. I'm trying to see if there was another comment here about the online stuff. I thought I saw something.
There was, same guy. It
Oh,
said, although I'd still fucking die of happiness if I had a reason to play online again.
Here we go. RD and RDR2 do at least continue to sell without any new content, and there's obviously no way for them to safely assess whether touching those titles will have a comparable return to just throwing a few unoccupied peripheral staff at GTA Online. What they are doing is working for them, even if it's bullshit.
Yeah, and that probably what it boils down to is that this works for them, and there's no way to quantify whether, if they do anything more for Red Dead or anything like that, that they're going to get anything out of it.
So this is really funny. This is really interesting to me. It's showing based off of this graph and based off of, the sales in general and where GTA is compared to Red Dead, that there is not the complaints about GTA are not even close to what it is for Red Dead. And if just these guys sit down and listen to this, Red Dead 3 could be one of the best games or the best game ever created. With the adaptability of some of the NFT, AI, the metaverse, you know, figuring out, if I go into that online world and and then I can create my own shop with my own guns and my own crafted, you know, guns and gear or whatever that is, and I sell it as an NFT, you know, and this is not, obviously, it's like, there's a lot of people talking about this. It's just who's going to implement it. You know, how is it going to get implemented and what story and how are we really going to connect all these things, you know, which is something I'm very curious about and would love to learn. So these are some interesting things, I think, to look into. Would love to hear from anybody else and everybody else. If anybody watches this, obviously, if you find this valuable, please like and share. Would greatly appreciate it. It will help the channel and will keep this thing going. But love to hear from everybody and what what you think and where we're at and where you think we're heading. So on that note, thank you so much for watching, and
thanks for joining us.
We'll catch you next time.
See you next time.